Hello everyone, welcome to the Digital Maddy Show. This is a platform where I share my knowledge on video creation, digital marketing, chatbot marketing, and how to grow your business through video making. I also invite many influencers and digital marketers on this show and ask some amazing questions to extract their secrets for business. So let's get started with your host. Hi, my name is Mithil Dave and I'm a YouTube and video creation coach. And I help aspiring video influencers to create and monetize their content through video making. Today on this particular show, we have a special guest. He's a very old friend of mine and he is an amazing guy when it comes to social media creations. So he is already into our studio. So let's welcome him on the stage, Slogan.
Hey
Hi,
guys,
Slogan.
how are you? This is Slogan. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's amazing that we are trying to solve people's problem even in this kind of situation. And I believe that entrepreneurs are going to be like the freedom fighters in the future. So yeah, let's get started.
Sure. So Slogan is basically the founder of Experts Bio.
Yeah.
And Slogan, if I have to ask you, what's your favorite quote?
Okay. So I would say the purpose of living is giving. That's the favorite quote. This is from Tony Robbins, and the reason that I like it is because when I was in college, I wanted to get into a very good company and earn a lot of money. Fortunately, it became a reality, and when I got all the money and I felt gap in my life, that's when I started figuring out what to do with my life. That's when I got into all these things, and I realized that whenever I'm trying to learn something and give it to someone, that's when I feel happy. It's not the point of just making the money. It's just the way we feel when the others are getting results because of whatever we are sharing. So yeah, that makes me really happy. That's why I like that quote.
Lovely. Yes, Tony is also one of my idol and one of my biggest bucket list is to meet him in person. So thank you for sharing that particular quote, Slogan. Can you share your journey? How have you been able to reach till here?
Okay, so as I was earlier telling you guys, it's just that from college, when I passed, when I completed my college and joined this company, there was a lot of gap. So the first day when I got my salary, it was like I never had that kind of money in my bank account. I spent that money for a couple of days. After working for like 1 month, all the money is going away. I felt like, is it like worth all the things that I'm doing in the work? And like money is anyway going away, and I'm just enjoying when I'm spending the money on things. And it became monotonous in a couple of days because I was able to afford anything that I wanted, and like I was nowhere. So this gap was killing me for 1 year, and somewhere I figured out I should do something else. So I started figuring out what is my passion. The first book that I read was The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So that's where the journey started. And I left that job. I quit the job, which gave me all the privileges that I ever wanted. I came to Chennai and I got a 9 to 5 job and started working on myself. I built my own website. I started reading a lot of sharing things in our website. And somewhere I felt that there is something more I have to do. So I started hosting my first event. People came in, the ticket cost was 500 rupees. I'm a amazing giver. So what I did was, in offer of this thing, I said, whoever is coming to the thing, I'll give you a free book. So everyone came, and the book cost was $500. So it was a failure. I lost money. So then my friends in my circle started asking me, how did you do it? We also wanted to do it. So that's when I started the journey of social media marketing agency. It just became like, I have this particular thing, and somewhere this is also coming up. So I wanted to help people. Yeah.
Great, lovely. So Slogan, let me ask you a question. How did you get your first customer as a social media agency?
So it's just a continuation of stories I was telling you guys. If at all, I'll cover also the second part of the question where a lot of people ask me how to get the first client if I don't have any experience like that. How did I get was, learned a lot of things, implemented for myself, and people started asking me how did I do it, and that's how I got my first client. He was a very dearest friend of mine, and because of whatever I did for him, like we did a campaign for him, and we sold 26 of his live event tickets, which was somewhere around 1.5 lakhs at that time. This was 3 years before, and he was blown away, and he started referring to a lot of people. Then I thought of starting a social media marketing agency, but I see that a lot of people are not able to do that for themselves. So they wanted to start with helping someone else, then get some other clients. So the process that I recommend for those people who are not able to do for themselves is learn first. There are a lot of things in digital like social media marketing. You have to learn what is the thing that you want to do. Then focus on getting the first customer for not paid services, but as a testimonial that you wanted to get for the particular thing. So select a niche, I would say, and go ahead with doing the services for free. Explain them this is what they're going to get, and ask them to pay for if you're going with Facebook, ask them to pay for Facebook ads, because you cannot put it from your pocket. And if you get them results, it's good. If not, tell them, see, this is what it is. I've tried, got so many leads for this. Please follow up with them. Do it until you crack a client, when they give an amazing testimonial and refer everyone that they know. So that while you're building the testimonials, you can also pitch a lot of other people in the same niche, saying that, hey, your so-and-so competitor is doing the same thing. Do you want me to do the same thing? Because I have a Kraken system where I can just copy from there and put it over here and get you results. Do you want that? So people are really crazy about when we compare them to competitors. If a competitor is having that, they also want it. So yeah, I also use this in a lot of new niches that I go in. So yeah, that's how to get a first customer.
Wow, that's really great. So Slogan, the biggest problem when it comes to people who wants to do everything online now is they are in a confusion as to what is the right niche for them, because what they feel is as seen in ClickFunnels, we have a red ocean and we have a blue ocean. So there are a lot of people who are actually stuck in the red ocean, and they feel that this is where I can actually do fishing, but there are a lot of big sharks and they take away all the customers. So how do you find your niche and come to your small ocean where you have plenty of fish and you can actually serve it? So my question to you is, how do you choose a niche?
Right. Okay. So what I do in terms of, if it was a social media marketing agency, the way I choose a niche is see if the business, like the niche has at least 50,000 businesses. Because if I'm calling out 50,000 businesses and I'm not getting like one client, I'm not capable of either convincing or my product is not good. So if I have 50,000 people in that business, and that's the first criteria that I see. And the second thing that I see is if at all I'm going and selecting a niche, I see if the person or the business is making above 1 crore. I think there's a lot of difference between what's a niche and what I'm saying, but I'll come back to that. And the third thing that I see is as a social media marketing agency, if you wanted to do that, make sure you get at least 10% as the as a fee for whatever profit that you're making for your customers. So this is how I select a niche in terms of social media marketing agency. But when you come to, you want to do something that you love and stuff like that, go with whoever you're comfortable talking to. Okay, if you're comfortable talking to an author, then choose them as your customers. If you're comfortable talking with real estate people, if you're comfortable talking with local businesses, you should start with them. And again, make sure that they have money so that they can also pay you. They have a good product too. So this is some of the things that I got hit when I started my agency. So that's how you can choose this. So work with the people that you love, and have these criteria in hand so that you can make the checklist and see to grow your business.
So since you are into social media agency, so how to get my first SMMA agency?
Okay, so we're again, I think, in the same lines of whatever I've been answering. The first SMMA agency, how to get my first SMMA agency. Okay, so this is for the client, right?
Yes, for the clients. For the clients.
Cool. So again, if you wanted to start with SMMA, you have to choose what you are going to do. Like in case of Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, there are a lot of social media platforms that you can work with, and different kinds of categories of people that you can work with. It can be a personal brand, it can be a business, it can be a local business, it can be anything that you wanted. Choose something that you love first. Then you wanted to crack them, go and talk to them. The secret that I use is when I wanted to crack a client, I understand what they wanted to achieve in their business, or what is their personal aspiration and goals. So whenever I'm getting on a call, the first thing that I ask them is, hey, how's your business going? How's your life? So then they start talking about, hey, this is what it is. This is the problem I'm facing. This is what it is. I wanted to do this, but I'm not able to do this. They start, giving you all the problems that they have. Then you can finally craft a solution for that particular kind of customer. Like for an example, when I was speaking to a local customer recently, so he said, we are not able to pay you because everything is shut down, our shops are shut, so we cannot do any promotions wherein we can get business. So I understood his problem is making a sale, and he was not able to do that. So that particular client is from a baking industry. So he sells raw materials. So what I said is, hey, see, you want to make money. That's your problem. I can give you a solution wherein you have a platform which is which is a brand. Okay, you can bring in people who can teach baking, so that you can earn money through that, and so that you can also continue paying me. That's pretty much a good deal for all of us. And he agreed to that. And we are doing, thing for it. So the crucial thing that we have to think about is, what is the problem that they have, so that we focus on solving that particular problem for that particular customer, so that they continue paying us even in these times, right?
Absolutely. So, Slogan, the next question that I have is, there are different things in digital marketing. So what do I choose?
Yeah. So I hear this question a lot from a lot of people, because whenever people are they want to do something in their life, and digital marketing is something which has been hyped by the Thai Lopez and people like them. So they get into it, and they see SEO, they see Facebook, they see YouTube, they see a lot of things, and they're not able to think of what they should choose. The best thing that again I would suggest is, do something for yourself first, right? If you're going to do YouTube for someone, go and do YouTube for yourself first. Understand what that is, and see if you really want to work on it. So what happens is, initially something that we are doing is something that we love. It's not something that we wanted to pursue in the long run, because it will hit you in the face, right? So either it can be TikTok, it can be anything, any kind of Pinterest, it can be even Snapchat, on digital marketing. But the point here that we have to think about is, what is that we are already doing, we're passionate about doing, that we are ready to get a slap on the face and still continue doing it the next day. So that's something that I would suggest.
True. So the journey for the agency is usually like a roller coaster. Some days you are like up, and some days you are like down. So of course, when it comes to agency, you also have a team, and you also hire people. So who is the first person that I should hire if I'm an agency?
Right. So I had a problem when I was taking clients. I was the only person who was working on everything. I do the designs, I do run Facebook ads, I build the funnels. So it was really crazy. The first thing that I did was, I wanted to do the repetitive work that I was doing. I wanted to give that to someone else. the first thing that I can think about is whoever can take care of the operations, because I have to be in sales, so that people keep coming in. And if someone is able to take care of the operations that I'm doing, that is the right person that I wanted to hire. And it depends upon, this is my suggestion. I really love doing sales. I love talking to people, but I also have my own time. So when it comes to a personal choice, I would do hire an operational guy who can take care of the implementation part. And it's up to a person's, what they wanted to do is something that they have to focus on. As a business owner, you have the choice to do anything that you wanted. All that you have to figure out is what is the way that you can bring in clients. If you are doing it, then do it. If you're not able to do it, hire someone else. That's the best thing that you can do. Stick into operations. Call yourself a CEO. Have just the brand face and never take sales calls. So that is something that I face, and I want to share this.
True. So I'm sure people who are listening this live in my Facebook group, or people who would be watching this on YouTube or listening as a podcast on my podcast channels. So this will be a frequent question that will be asked. So I think if you can address that at the very first go, I think it will be clearing their question. So question is something like, if I have to start my agency, all right, what are the things that I should the things that I should know so that I can start my agency?
Right. Okay. Amazing question. So I did a lot of mistakes too. So if I'm starting a new agency right now, so what I would do is first choose a niche. That's the first thing that I'll do. Choose a niche wherein they have money to pay me. That's the first thing. Then I'll do my pricing wherein I feel comfortable on the profit margins, not just giving away everything to everyone that I'm going to be hiring in the future. So the first thing that I see is the part where you will have to figure out the overall process of what you're going to do from the boarding of your onboarding of your customer till the point of delivery. I'll figure this process out. When we are taking these clients in, I'll exactly know what tasks that I have to do. So when you're the only person who's handling an agency, and you'll if you have 10 clients, like 5 clients or 2 clients even in some cases, if at all there is something in the process, if you're creating overall flow of funnel, Facebook ad funnel, and email autoresponder, SMS, if you forget one thing, like instead of putting the date as 9th, if you put as 10th, it's going to screw up. So this thing is going to client is going to shout at you. So the best thing to do is understand the overall process, keep it on paper on what to be done and when to be done, and what to be changed, when to be changed. This gives you a very good clarity on what, and also to the client. So they are very convinced about the process. They'll be updated once in a while on what is the process which is going on. So it makes it very clear. So when I'm starting agency, I think this process is the thing that I would follow, and also pricing, which can not bite me in the future, wherein I'll have to put money from my pocket.
So as you said that you also had done mistakes in the past. So can you share 3 major mistakes you did when you started SMMA, so that people can learn from the mistakes and at least they should not repeat those mistakes?
Right. Okay. The first mistake that I did was not having a team. So I always thought that as a business guy, I should save money and slog my ass and do everything on my own. But what happened was I was not able to get clients, and at a point it so happened that I had more clients than the time that I had to serve them. So the amount of work I was doing was huge, and the quality of work became less. So I started losing the trust of my customers, which was a big hit for me. When they were sometimes they used to get on a call and say, Slogan, nowadays you're not focused on my ad at all. You're just switching it on and you're not optimizing it and stuff like that. I would say, yeah, I'll take care of it. That's where it started hitting me. And at some point, I felt so bad that I was losing my client's money, and losing your money is a pain. Losing your client's money, it's like the worst thing that you could do as a person, right? So when I was losing their money and were not able to make the money back, I felt really awful, and they were okay with it. That's the biggest problem I had. And the first thing that I did was, as I said, I hired a guy who can take care of the implementation part, and again, like, it became a bigger problem because I had to teach him the overall process and stuffs again, and I had to manage each and everything that he did, and I have to cross-verify each and everything he did. So that's the point that I realized that I have to get the process in place. That's when I started doing the systems. That's when I started realizing the power of building a team. So this was the first mistake that I did, which still now I regret. And if I had hired a team back then, I would have been in a better position compared to now. So, and the second biggest mistake that I did was managing money. Sometimes what happens is in a month you will get huge amounts of money as payments from your clients, and the next month the client passes the campaigns, and you don't know what to do with whatever you're doing. So the worst period was when, I guess this was in 2018, end of 2018, I guess, wherein I had no payments coming in for like 6 months, and I still have to go through with it, and I have to pay my team, and I was putting all my money in, my savings were gone. So that's the point that I did anything and everything to get money into the bank account so that I can at least pay my team. And I had a situation wherein I had to buy rice. I was not with my parents back then. I got them now. So I had to just buy rice, have a 10 rupee packet curd, and I used to have a chip, 5 rupee packet chip. This was my 3 times a day meal, and I had this for almost 20 days to a month. So this cost me a lot of things. Like what I used to do is, if I'm getting a bulk amount of money, what I have a list of things that I wanted to buy. Buy in the sense it cannot be something which is fancy or stuff like that, which is useful for the business. And also sometimes in mentors and courses, I've spent like crazy amounts of money on mentors and courses, and also courses. So what I do is, whenever I get money, I just have it for my team. I have something for myself, and I put everything into that. I never thought about how I have to keep money so that if something comes up, I'll have to spend money from whatever I'm saving. So I never did that. I'm a spendthrift, so that's what I did. Later, I realized I attended MMI of Success, and that's when I started realizing no, I should have done that. And I started moving to a path where I don't spend all the money that I'm getting right now. I always at least 10% of my operations cost towards the savings for the business, and for nothing else. So I have, and I also make sure that if I'm hiring someone, if I have someone in my team, I make sure I have 1 year of their salary, so that no matter what happens for 1 year, I'll be able to still give them salary. And if at all we can if brilliant minds are together, we can figure something out to make money. So that's what I believe in as of now. So that's the second biggest mistake that I did. And coming to the third mistake is again the pricing point. Sometimes you might charge a customer 50,000 or 1 lakh as a retainer, and you will not still make money. So that's like the worst part of it, right? You say that your revenue is like 1 lakh, and you make nothing out of it. It's the worst thing that you could do. So what I used to do is, whenever I see a customer, I see that hey, this is what the profit they can make, and this is the pricing that can work for me. Okay, so I take this like for an example, say 1 lakh is the pricing that I can keep. I'll have expenses for 1 lakh, exactly 1 lakh. So I make nothing out of it, and on top of it, I'll have to pay GST and income tax. All those things are there. Of course, the filing thing is going to come in. This 1 lakh is also added into the income tax, and I have to pay CA to do that thing. So it became really crazy at a point that my agency was making money, but I was not. So that was a pathetic situation that I was in. So I had to come out of that. So I then started realizing that, I have to choose a customer where their profit of, maybe 10% or 20%, whatever they're paying me, is including the cost that I can also get. So now we know that TWCGO, thing. So I make sure that it comes into that. All my operations is like 30% of the cost, and everything else is coming into, taxes and, other stuffs. So I make sure I follow this format. I charge premium amount right now because of whatever, this that I've been getting for my clients. I'm fortunate enough to get them, results. So because of that, I charge premium. Now I'm able to get that, manage those things. But when I was initially starting out, this is the biggest mistake that I did. Like, the pricing, you might make money, but you'll not have money. So that's another another beautiful situation that you can land into. So yeah, these are the three big mistakes that I did.
Lovely. Yes, I have attended this MMI in 2019 January, and it was amazing. It was an eye-opening thing, and the biggest takeaway that I had was the jar systems, the entire bucket systems that we have, and how do you segregate your entire finance. Financial planning is more important, and this is, I think, one of important thing which is missed in our education system. I don't know why they don't include money. I was also reading this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Even in that, it has mentioned that our education system across the world, they don't teach how to manage money. So that's one drawback. So yes, coming to the last question, Slogan, agency is something, I think it's very tempting and it's very challenging also. So, it has its pros and cons. So is it really worth starting an SMMA, social media marketing agency?
Yeah, so bite me. So what happens is, see, when you start an SMMA agency and you have a good team to take care of it, I think that's the best thing to do. If you have the right knowledge on, how the pricing should be, what systems you should follow, you exactly know what to do, then the best thing to do. Because I know a lot of people who start an SMMA agency, then they don't even know what's happening, but everything that what they built on system is taking care of the overall process. But if you don't know, reach out to someone and learn that. Else, I would say, don't start an SMMA. Never do that, because you would, I was in like very bad situations. I just told you about those. I don't want anyone to be in that stage. If you are someone who has already started it, I would recommend just get on a call with me. It's free, and I'll guide you through what has to be done and stuff like that. But if you know, then start. If you don't know, please don't do it. Start something else. Start something like what the great host is doing, so that you can solve problems of people and you can make a course around it, so that it becomes easier for you to sell it to people. Sell it, 2,000 rupee product, 5,000 rupee product, 10,000 rupee product is really easy, and you can manage the number of leads which is coming in, and you are the only person who is in the system. So it becomes really easy to manage everything. If at all go for it. If at all you don't know, I would not recommend starting it.
Great. So since it's a live session, I would also encourage people, if you have any questions related to social media marketing or digital marketing or anything related to that, you have the right opportunity right now to ask directly to Slogan, and I think Slogan will be able to answer you right away. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can simply post it into the comment section. Slogan or me will answer that question to you. Yes, I think we can have, we'll wait for another couple of minutes for people to type in. You can type in the chat, and then we'll be able to see it. In the meanwhile, there are your fans, I'll just share with you some of them, Slogan, you rock. People are loving this particular interview. So yes, it's amazing. So yeah, hi Vin. Great to be on the show, and would be also interviewing you tomorrow. And I'm really excited to have you as a guest also tomorrow. So she'll be Slogan, our next guest, and this is going to be one of my special moments where I will be Slogan interviewing her. She is just wait for tomorrow's interview. Trust me, you will be zapped.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
Okay.
So,
So yes, we
one
have
more
our
thing
first.
that I, yeah,
Yes,
sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, tell me first. Then I'll shoot
So,
the question.
yeah, I was, I wanted to ask this question. How long is this session? Because I don't want to talk too much or too, small. So I just wanted to have this question live.
Yes. So I think we'll take more 5 minutes and then we'll end the session. So
Cool.
this is the first question that we have. What do you recommend for a beginner who wants to get started in the niche, who is brand new and wants to make money on the internet? Wow, amazing question.
Okay. So if you're brand new on internet, you don't know about anything. So start with some product which is there for a very long time, which is focused on helping entrepreneurs, launch their first, thing or make money through something. So that what happens is you can learn from that particular course. And if it is an affiliate, then it's really good. You can also promote the same thing, saying that this is what has helped me understand these things, and you can also learn from this. So as a beginner, if you're trying to get a lot of courses, that's what I also did. I spent somewhere 20 plus lakhs on mentors and courses and coaches and something like that. Please don't do that. Start simple. Start with a $100 product or a $200 product. Make sure it has a good history also. It's there for like 5 years or 10 years or something like that. Not 10 years, maybe no other product is there for 10 years, maybe like 3-4 years. It's solid, so that you'll know the company is not gonna go away, and people are not gonna hate you. So choose a product which has a good system like that, and promote that product so that it becomes easier for you also to promote that thing. Yeah.
Great. Lovely. Is there any other questions that we have? And hi Neha. Neha is also sharing hi to Slogan also.
Hi.
So thank you so much, Slogan, for being on the show. And before we end the session, Slogan, would you like to say something to our viewers, to our audience?
Right. So guys, I know your host is doing an amazing job, because what we are trying to do through an interview is just kind of what we got inspired by talking to someone or listening to someone. We want that to happen for you guys. So if at all something made sense, something is blowing your mind, or there is some kind of thing that you're taking on, please implement it. The major mistake that I did was listen to a lot of videos, consume a lot of content, and never take action towards it. If something is helping you in this, like something mistakes that I did, which is that you're doing right now or about to do, something which you're taking away from this, please do it. Please implement it. Or if you don't know anything, start implementing. Okay, start listening and start implementing. That's the best thing that I can give. All the internet marketers are lazy. They do just consume. They do not produce at all. I highly recommend you to implement and produce. Yeah.
Great. I think there's one more comment that we have. It was a very resourceful session, wonderful insight. Thank you so much. And you are listening to the Digital Maddy Show with your host Mithil Dave, and we have our guest Slogan. So you can subscribe to my podcast on Spotify or Google Podcast, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, Slogan, for being on the show, and we'll catch you later.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm so happy that I'm able to talk in front of people coming from a village background. And if I can do it, you can also do it. Please go ahead and do it.
Yeah? Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
So much. Bye bye.